अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज है डे नंबर 4 of Ramadan. Today we are doing a pull day. So we're gonna be training back, a little bit of shoulders, a little bit of biceps at the end. But yeah, deload week chal raha hai. So I'll start off with just some pull-ups. Okay. Pull-ups pe, I see a lot of people doing it wrong, where they skip the bottom part of the pull-ups. I think which is the most important because you're in a lengthened position. So you want to make sure that you are training your lats in that lengthened position, and that gives you the most amount of growth. Yeah, we're just gonna do again deload week this week. So not that many sets, probably just 2 sets of each exercise. That should be okay. Just fix my microphone. Last time my microphone died, like almost at the end of the workout. Okay, hopefully that should be good. Okay. So in terms of the grip, it doesn't really matter. I think for pull-ups, obviously this would give a more focus on a little bit more of your upper back, whereas if you go here, there'll be a lot more focus on your lats because your arms are a bit more in front of you, and that's what prioritizes your lat training. Whereas if they're a bit on the side, that goes more into your rhomboids. But yeah, I think in general, I mean, they are training everything. So I think just a normal grip pull up should be pretty good. Might do some rows. So I usually do chest supported rows. That is where, like, for example, here, would be against the bench, and then have dumbbells, and then that's where I row them. That's what I like to do usually, but today is just a deload week, so I can essentially do the same movement but with cables. So I think I'm just gonna do that today. Let's move this out of the way. Okay. So with cables, again, I'm going pretty light today, so we'll use a rope. Or maybe let's try that out. Goal here is to make sure again stretching out my back as much as possible. So getting a good stretch, focusing on that, and then just doing a controlled repetition. Again, trying to contract and do a rep, but in a controlled manner, not just trying to throw my weights around, right? And just 2 sets of these, deload week, so it should be pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Yeah, all right, so grab the rope, pull back, and then just try and focus on the stretch as much as possible, and then pull. So the reason for doing chest supported rows is that, because think about it, if I go really heavy with this, sooner or later, my lower back, so this part, right? So my lower back holding the weight, that's gonna get fatigued first before my lats get fatigued, right? So that's the goal, that with chest supported, your lower back is completely out of the game, and you can't really cheat your reps because you're supported here with the bench, and you can't really move that much. You can't cheat your reps, so you can really focus in on your lats. So yeah, that's why I like to do them. But again, today this should be sufficient. We're trying to deload anyways. That should be fine. So after that, I'm just gonna hit one more back exercise. We're gonna do one exercise for biceps, one for rear delts, and then I think, yeah, that should be it. So pretty quick workout. I want to try and keep these maybe under 40 minutes, hopefully. Usually when I talk, I just take much longer time for my rest than I usually do. So that's why my workouts end up going for longer when I record myself. But yeah, so Ramadan's been going good. My energy levels are now pretty good. Usually the first week is it's kind of where you're getting used to it. But then I think after a few days, your body learns to kind of adapt. to the fasting times, and your energy levels, everything just kind of gets up. It's back to normal-ish. I mean, fatigue's gonna be more in Ramadan for sure, but what I'm saying is that it gets better over time, at least for me. Yeah, it's also had good sleep last night, so I guess that also helps. Yeah, I can also already feel the difference with my deload and my fatigue and my energy levels. I used to wake up just tired and my body just hurts, but now it's feeling good. Even my joints are feeling much better now. So I think that's a good sign that the deload's working. We'll give it another. We'll finish the whole week for the deload, and then start pushing back. So push face, which then I'll be documenting everything. So it's good, because a lot of people don't know what, for example, deload is when you're supposed to take a deload week. They just kind of go to the gym randomly, right? So I think that's why just documenting all my experience is pretty good because people get to learn about what a deload is, deload is, and so God, my voice. Can't drink water to fix that. I was gonna say, I'm like, well, I'll just go quickly drink some water. Wait, can't do that. All right, that's that. So, yeah, focus on a deep stretch. Pull. Right, down with the rows. Um, need to hit some rear delts. So I usually, for my pull days, usually do cable reverse flies, and then on my other back day, which is during my upper day, I hit my face pulls. So I like to alternate them. Cable is not free right now. The one I want, it's like two of them together, so you can easily do reverse flies, but it's taken right now. So I think we'll just do face pulls for today. Again, pretty light. Just try and figure that out. Aim is not to fatigue any muscles this week, and let them rest. All right, Ramadan. Ramadan. It's honestly, it's the best time of the year for me because it's a month of growth, right? It's a month of growth in every way, actually, spiritually, physically, mentally, and that's a challenge that I like to keep. Right? You don't you stay hungry, like you want to eat, you're thirsty, you want to drink, but you avoid that, and that's the mental challenge, I think, right? Physical challenge. It is tiring. You don't get enough sleep. Usually people pray a lot, but they're in ibadah a lot, tarawih at night, So that's a physical challenge where you are more tired, but you are deciding to push yourself more. And then the spiritual challenge is just that you are doing more praying, you're doing more ibadah, and that does increase your iman over the next 30 days, and it really improves your deen. And I think this whole three combination system is it's unbelievable. It's like a pill for success. There's never been a Ramadan that I've gone out of Ramadan feeling like, oh crap, man, I didn't do much, or like I failed this Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, every single Ramadan, end of it, I have no regrets. I'm so happy. And I think if you realize the importance of Ramadan and what it can provide for you, religiously and even not religiously, I think then you will never ever waste a single Ramadan in your life. And yeah, I think weirdly enough, I actually, well, actually, not weirdly enough, I like 2 months before Ramadan even starts, I get excited. Just thinking about Ramadan, and I get all with those butterflies in my stomach. I'm like, oh, can't wait for Ramadan. So yeah, I really like it. I don't mind fasting. I don't mind anything like that because I know it's for my better self. Right. So here you want to make sure that you're pulling through your elbows, not through your wrist. So let me show you the difference. This is me pulling through my elbows. Okay. And this is pulling through my wrist. You see? So you want to pull your elbows back. Okay. So again, through my elbows. That really burns in your gills. No, I'm not using it. Okay, so that was pretty good. If you notice, I was holding well, I don't know if you can see it, but I was holding the cable like this instead of actually grabbing the cable, right? It doesn't really matter, to be honest. I find that by doing this, I feel my lateral or my rear delts more when I'm going pretty light. So, for example, today I'm doing a deload week. It's perfect, right? Whereas if I'm going a little bit heavier, then I go like that just so that I can focus more on my form rather than my kind of fingers getting tired, right? So it's basic preference. You don't want to stick to this method if your grip is getting in your way. So you want to make sure your grip is not your problem. But if you're going like you're deloading, for example, like me right now, doing it like that is not a big problem. One more set. You're good. You're good. How are you doing? Pretty good. All right. All right, we will hit some biceps. Okay, maybe let's do it here. It's pretty crowded today. Yeah, I think that should be pretty good. For biceps, usually I don't do that much volume for my arms alone because I believe that if I'm doing heavy pull days, I'm working my biceps enough. If I'm doing heavy push days, I'm working my triceps enough. So for isolation work, I usually only do about 4 sets every single week, like for the whole week. So 4 sets of biceps, 4 sets of triceps, which doesn't sound a lot. I understand, but I think when you're doing intense pull days, push days, you should be fine. Alright, so for biceps, usually I do something that where my at least like tricep is supported, so that I can't cheat my curls. Again, for today, just a deal week, so I'm just gonna do some standing curls, and that should be fine. Right, so a few things you want to make sure is that again you're not swinging the weight. It's okay to a point, but if your first rep looks like that, then that's wrong, right? Maybe if you get fatigued and then you do a few cheat reps, that's fine. So again, stable position, pretty standard, right? Just pull up. Again, you make sure you're controlling the negatives. Very important, right? So again, deload week, so we don't want to push it too much. Just do one more quick set, and then we can do yeah, one more back exercise. Then that should be it. That should be fine. So yeah, I'd like to get my workouts. Well, at least this Ramadan work. That's what I'm trying to do. Get my workouts out of the way in the morning, then do my work. Do whatever I'm supposed to do that day, and then around 5 p.m. onwards. It depends how much work I have to do, but I mean, maybe around 6 p.m. and onwards, I don't do any work. I just try and cook food if I have to. Yeah, so prepare my meals. Well, have a thought. So open my fast, and then just do the an hour, 2 hours later, just go for tarawih. And then honestly, by the time I come back, it's 11 p.m. and that's the end of my day. So I quickly eat another meal, go to sleep, and then I wake up around 5-ish, 6 p.m. Not p.m. a.m. So around 5:30 a.m. Just quickly eat another meal that I already have made in the fridge, and then just go back to sleep. Wake up and 6:30 in a half an hour, and then just get on with the same pace. Get my workout in, and then repeat. I think it's been going pretty well. Um, yeah, I think so far it's been going pretty well. Um, it works out for my routine. Last year, what I used to do is similar thing, but I used to work out around 5 p.m. Like right before opening my fast, 5:30 p.m. Work out to like 6:37, then open my fast. That works too. But I think this time I want to do it before my or early in the morning, right after my sahur, just so that I have more energy and maybe I get better workouts in, more intense workouts in. For that, I'll have to see until my deload is done, obviously, when I actually try and push myself. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. So if you notice, whenever I'm doing the curl, I rotate my arm, right? And the idea behind that is that your biceps get more active just by rotating your arm inwards, right? And that's when you get peak contraction. So I'm going down, I'm already focusing on that, I can let my arm go. And then when I'm contracting, really trying and rotating my arm in and really getting a peak contraction. So yeah, it's a quick tip. Try it out and see the difference. Alright, one last exercise. Today's workout is actually pretty quick. And this is how your deal is supposed to be, by the way. It's supposed to be pretty quick, 30 minutes to 45 minutes, you're done. It's just that the first 3 days took me a while because I was not used to recording myself. I'm still not, but think I think with time that's gonna get better, and I'm gonna be able to replicate more of what my normal workouts look like. So I think today's pretty good, and today's pretty representative of what my actual workouts look like. How long of a rest do I take, right? Again, for a deload, I want to make sure that that's clear. That I am just doing a deload right now. Half the weight, half the intensity, half the volume. So it seems very easy, but I want to be clear that this is not how your workouts are supposed to look like if you are trying to grow in the gym, which I assume you are. But again, you'll see a more clear representation of that a week later when I'm out of my deload. Okay, so I'll finish my set and then I'll explain a little bit about how or what the protocol is for you getting out of deload. Because you're not just supposed to jump back into your same intensity, same volume that you were doing before your deload, right? That doesn't make sense because you want to progress over the next 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, do some nice pullovers. Yeah, stretch your back. Yes, so going out of your deload. So for example, if I'm right now, I'm doing half the volume, so I'm at 50%, and a week before I was at 100%, right? Did a deload because I was not recovering properly, I was not feeling right, I was just pain in my joints, and it just felt like I can't push more, right? I can't progress every single week. It's time to take a step back, deload yourself for a week. So again, half the intensity, half the volume. When you go out of your deload, you want to push the intensity closer to 100% again, but your volume should remain still at 50%. For example, for the first week, second week, you might increase that to 60%, and then 70%, and then slowly over time, increase that, right? As you increase that, your goal should now also be to try and go a little bit up in how much you're lifting. So how I like to do that is, for example, out of my deload week, intensity goes back to 100%, and my volume is still at 50%. I maintain that for 2 weeks. First week, I'm just trying to push the same amount of weights as I was before. Second week, again, volume is still at 50%, but now I just try and push a little bit more for majority of the exercises, right? For main compound movements. Again, it could be anything as simple as 2 pounds more, let's say, but the idea is that I'm pushing a little bit more. So again, 2 weeks, 50% volume, 50% volume, same number of weights, a little bit more. And the next week, I would go for 60% volume, maintain the weights that I did the week before. And then second week again, or I guess it's the fourth week again, I will do 60% volume again, so 60%, 60%. Third week, I'll maintain my number of weights that I was doing, the amount of weight that I was lifting. Fourth week, I'll now try and go a little bit higher again. So again, you're increasing your volume over time. At the same time, you're also increasing your the numbers that you're lifting, or the intensity, right? And that's the idea. And I think if you do that for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you will reach a point again where you need deload again because you reach a plateau, right? So again, just broadly speaking, that's how the cycles work, and they're pretty simple to. Well, once you get an idea of what actual fatigue feels for you, I think at that point it becomes easy. But before that is your learning phase where you're just trying to understand what even fatigue is for you. You might think you're fatigued, but as a beginner, you're probably not. You just think you are because you've never pushed yourself that much in the gym, right? So again, you've got to be careful with that. As a beginner, I think your main focus should be trying to learn how to actually push yourself in the gym and not worrying too much about am I deloading? Like I just started working out like a month ago. I think I need to deload. No, you don't, right? So you're fine. You're a beginner. You shouldn't be worried that much about it. Just focus on getting intense workouts in because that's I think the number one reason why beginners or the number thing that beginners lack in the gym is the intensity of the workouts. Yeah, but I think once you have that in line, that's when you can start worrying about, all right, now I'm working at a pretty high intensity. Now my body might need some recovery time, some rest time, a deload week. Right. Okay. Okay. So done with that. I'm just gonna train some abs. maybe some obliques too. And then that should be it for this week, or at least for today. Tomorrow is my rest day, so I won't really record tomorrow. Well, my rest days are not just rest. It's a cardio focus day. But because of Ramadan, I don't think I'm gonna do cardio. I might just cut the number of calories that I eat in a day by the same amount instead of doing cardio. But yeah, and then Saturday again will be. So today's Thursday. Friday is gonna be my rest day or my active rest day that I usually take. Saturday is gonna be my leg day. So I have 2 more workouts of deload left. And starting from next week, back on the intensity rate. Okay. So for core, I'm thinking I'm just gonna do. I think I'm just gonna do leg release. All right. So, all right. So leg raises. Okay. So here again, you want to make sure that you're not cheating it, right? You're not just coming halfway up. Well, you can, but what you gotta make sure is that you're actually rolling your abs instead of just rolling your legs up. So for example, let me show you. All right. So here, I'm only rolling my legs up. Right? I'm not actually training my abs. Whereas here, now I'm rolling my core. Now I'm actually training my abs. Oh man, this does not feel that good today. I just want to go home and sleep, even though I had a good sleep today. But I'm just making excuses. Okay, cool. Right. Let's get this out of the way. All right. We'll do one more set today, and that's it. Because I'm not feeling it today. I'm talking not too loudly today because there's a lot of people in the gym. So I think I need to get better at that. Just talk normally, right? But I think it'll take some time to get used to that. But I'm getting there. At least I'm able to talk now and record. But yeah, alright, so important thing, right, for your core, you've probably seen those videos online where it's like a 10-minute core workout, fat burning workout where you're just on the ground just doing some random crap as opposed to squeeze your core and work it right. Obviously, if you're a beginner, even normal crunches would work for you, but you gotta treat them the same as you treat every single other muscle. So if you're training chest, you're not just gonna start with 20-pound dumbbells and then just stick to that for the rest of your life, right? You're gonna go higher. Same thing with that. Same thing with your core. You could start with just floor crunches, but once it gets easy, 10, 12, 15 of them, I think it's worth it finding an alternative for that that's a bit more challenging. So then you need to progress in your ab training as well. You can't just throw them at the end of the workout and just do like a 5 minute on the ground random crap online that you saw online and then expect your abs to develop. Again, even if you are training them super hard with high intensity with weights, you're not gonna see them unless you drop body fat, right? So if there's fat covering over your abs, you're not gonna see them, no matter how much development there is in there. So I think that's why it's important both ways for you to understand everything, right? Yes, you need to develop your abs, but also if you can't see them yet, then just developing them more is not gonna magically make them appear, right? So it's a fat that's covering it. I'm talking too much now. Get my work right. All right. All right. So done with pull day, deload week, and I'll see you guys on after a day for my leg workout. Again, as a week of deload, so we have 2 more workouts in, and then we will go ahead and get into our actual intense workouts. Take care.